Hey guys. Alright, so we're going to be doing a changing video and chatting. I've got this adorable little girl here. She's my silly little girl. I'm not messed with her in a bit. I don't think she's on the channel. I don't think we have a box opening for her. So if you want a detailed video of her, we should have a box opening, but I'm not sure if we do or not. I'm thinking she's a Bonnie... I think she's a Bonnie Brown, but her last, then Bonnie was a different name. I'm not sure. And I don't remember what we named her. But she's my darling little baby, and I've been looking for her for a while, and I finally found her. So we're going to change her out of the sleeper into this little sweatshirt, sweatshirt here. Which is a 0 to 3. There's no tag on it. But I got it out of the 0 to 3 bin. So I'm thinking it's 0 to 3. I'm hoping, because that's what she is. And these pants are 0 to 3 by Bundle Baby Place. Now I'm not sure if she has socks on or not. So I might have to pause to get socks for her. Okay, so the chat might be a little different than normal. I've been feeling very emotional lately, actually the past few days, and I don't know why. So I'm going to try to talk it out with you guys. Like, you guys don't have to watch this. If you guys don't want to hear me ramble, if you guys like to hear me ramble, then go for it. So it all started yesterday when I was trying to put, he's not on the channel yet, but I've recently got the duckling sculpt from AliExpress, reproduction duckling sculpt, but it was unpainted because I couldn't find one that was painted. So I thought, oh, okay, I'll paint it. Had every confidence that I could do this. He would only be my second baby I painted. I painted Kimberly. Sorry, I threw that in the wash machine. Which she should be on the channel. I did a short for her, and me and Megan did our first babies we did together. She did George, I did Kimberly. But this Kimberly's a baby that's asleep. So she was a little bit easier because I didn't have to insert the eyes. So I go yesterday because I got them all finished. So I go yesterday to try to put the eyes in, and I use acrylic paint, so it's air dry basically. I go yesterday to put the eyes in, and the spots around the eyes is cracking with the paint. So, and I can't get the eyes in. So Megan says that I'm probably going to have to strip the head and redo it. So I'm disappointed with all that, and I'm kind of being hard on myself, and I think a little bit too hard on myself, because it is just off, and it is probably repairable or fixable. It's just, I don't know, and I don't know if it's just self-esteem issues, because I've had like bad self-esteem since I've been a little girl. My childhood wasn't the greatest, but what childhood out there is. But, so in second grade, it was great up to second grade. I ended up getting headlights in second grade. And and then of course I had to go home early. And the typical, you're in second grade. You don't know not to tell your friends why you're going home early. So one of my friends asked me why I was going home early. I simply said I had headlights. I didn't think anything of it because, like I said, you're in second grade. So I was teased relentlessly the rest of that year, and from that point on. Don't know if I'm liking the shirt on her. But, so I was teased. It was even more than that year. I was teased throughout high school, throughout elementary school. And it wasn't just because I had headlights in second grade. It was because my mom was low income. I couldn't get the name brands of clothes. Mine was always either Goodwill or hand-me-downs. Actually, it was Goodwill. So I was the only granddaughter for the longest time. So mine was Goodwill, usually. And my mom, it was just me and my brother. So I couldn't have, unless there has been a few times I did have to wear my brother's clothes. Which, of course, that just made the teasing more because I was wearing boys' clothes. Back then, because I was born in 81, so it was 80s and 90s when I was in school. Back then, it didn't matter what clothes you wore, at least I thought. And then when I turned 15, I met my first, well, I was almost 16. Because I met him on Christmas Day. So I was 3 days from my 16th birthday when I met. Later, he'd be my first ex-husband. But I met him first on Christmas Day when I went to visit my best friend. It was her cousin. She introduced me and ended up liking him. And of course, he was way older than me. He was 21. I was, like I said, 3 days from my 16th birthday. So that was a ridiculous age difference there. It wouldn't have been a ridiculous age difference if I wasn't underage. So if you have an age difference, that's that much. I'm okay with that. But if you're underage, if you're under 18 and you have a 21-year-old looking at you and wanting to date you and wanting to, I honestly think my mother should have stepped in. I was not ready for any of that. But I have said this before to my dad, and my brother also agrees. My mom only had kids because it was expected of her in her time. It was expected of her to have kids. I believe that's the only reason she had kids. And then she became a single mother with me and my brother. She married 5 different guys. My dad twice. So I met my first ex-husband. He dazzled me pretty much, and I ended up wanting to get married to him. Went to court because I was 16. Even with my parents' permission, I still had to get the court's approval at 16 in Indiana. The judge said he was not going to approve it because I wasn't pregnant. So I went to and got pregnant pretty much. That's how I got pregnant with my first daughter. It took us almost a year to get pregnant. I was almost 17 when I got pregnant with her. Actually 17 when I gave birth. So it's just, and then once that ring was on that finger, came the mental abuse and the physical abuse. So I don't want to go into all the details with that, but so that didn't help my self-esteem, going through all that for 6 years. And then finally, one of his friends, I was Facebook messaging him. He had just came down, and he had seen how his friend was treating me. So we were messaging back and forth on Facebook, and he finally said, "Melissa, what would you do if he went too far one day? Where would you girls be then?" And I just sat back and started thinking, he's right. Where would these girls be if he went too far one day and killed me? So I ended up leaving him. I think he said that when I was pregnant with Julianne. So I couldn't technically leave him because I was off work. I couldn't work. Doctor had taken me off work because I was having dizzy spells. They couldn't explain why. So he took me off of work, so I couldn't work. So I had to wait until I could work to get out of there. So she was 6 months old whenever I told Brent, which was my first ex-husband's first name, that I was leaving. Of course, he didn't want me to leave. He tried to get his mom to talk sense into me over the phone. I said, no. I said, I ain't talking to your mom. And so he even tried calling my dad to have my dad talk some sense into me. And my dad's like, I'm staying out of it. So, because he knew, last time he came down to see me, because we were in Southern Indiana at the time, I had told him it was over. I said, he doesn't know this, Brent doesn't know this, but it's over. So he knew I had made up my mind. And he knew there was nothing to change me. And he also knew what was going on. So he didn't want to change my mind. So, then I was a single mom with 3 kids. Got into another relationship way too soon. He wasn't physically abusing, but I think he was more controlling. I constantly had to be on the phone with him if he was not home. And I didn't realize it was controlling until after I divorced him. And then I realized it was. And then after that, I was like, I'm raising my girls, and then I'll look for a guy if I want to. So right now I'm happy being single. So I don't know if it's low self-esteem. I don't know if it's because I always had to be strong growing up. I was the 3rd oldest grandchild. Loved my grandma and grandpa to death. But they believed, and so did my mom, that because I was the 3rd oldest, I had to be strong. I had to be a role model for my younger cousins. And that just didn't seem right to me, because of the mere fact there's a big age gap between me and my next youngest. So I'm 42. Yeah, I'm 42 now. My next cousin down is, I think he was born 91. So I would say he's probably in his 30s now. So there's that big age gap between me and my next youngest cousin. True, I was a teenager, almost a teenager when he was born. But you should never have your older cousins be as a role model, being where you have to be strong for those cousins. I had to be strong for my mom because she had it rough. I honestly think DCS should have stepped in, not to take me and my brother away, but to kind of help my mom find financial support. My mom, half the time we didn't have food in the house. Half the time we were living paycheck to paycheck. And my mom was working 2 to 3 jobs at the time. My stepdad was working a job. My dad was sending money when he could, but he wasn't living a life of luxury up here either. So he couldn't send it very often, but he did send when he could. It's just, I don't know why I'm emotional. It could just be early menopause. So I am 42. But I thought maybe doing this video might help me either come up with a solution or help me talk out my emotion. There were several times today at work I almost burst out in tears. Don't know why, and that's not my personality. I don't know if it's the abnormalities in my brain, if they're getting worse and this is a side effect. I don't know. And I wish I knew. And of course, Megan wishes she could help me. She's away in college. And I hate venting to her about this stuff. But I don't know. I try to vent to my dad about it sometimes. And he's more of a logic person, which is good. But sometimes you just need somebody just to stand there and listen to you. And I don't know. My dad's never been that for me. I've never had anybody like that for me. Friends was fairly far and few between. I did finally have a friend group in high school. It wasn't until 5th grade, which was, for me, that was elementary school, that I met my first friend. Now, I had one other friend. Her name was Allison. We met in 1st grade. So me and her kind of ran together, I guess you'd say. And then in 5th grade, I met my other friend, Angie, which me and her and Allison just kind of joined forces, basically. And then in 6th or 7th grade, Allison almost died because she didn't know she was pregnant and she almost bled out. So she dropped out of school so she can raise her daughter, because her daughter was a preemie in NCIE, I think it's called, for a while. But now her daughter's older and married, I think. So I just don't know. And then, like I said, in high school, I finally got this little friend group. So me making friends is difficult. I have a next door neighbor that is a friend, but I don't feel like I can really talk to her about this stuff. Because she's had a hard life. And I bet a lot of you guys have had a hard life. And I just don't know. Plus, she doesn't really understand the dolls. They are my world, just like my girls are my world. And my girls have been my world since they were born. My ex-husband knew, to get to me, he could get to me through the girls, basically. If he hurt the girls, if he threatened to take them away, my dad had to finally step in and say, hey, he can't take these girls away. Once the divorce was final, he can't take these girls away in the state of Indiana unless, I think there was like 7 or 8 variables that either 1 or 2 of those had to be happening. And none of those were happening. So he finally couldn't do that to me because he couldn't. Then he's like, well, then I'll have my mom take him away. Well, his mom had in the state of Indiana, we have no grandparents' rights unless if Brent had passed away, then the grandparents could go in for grandparents' rights. Unless one of the parents had passed away, we have no grandparents' rights in the state of Indiana. So that wouldn't work, or that stopped working once I researched that. He finally, both of my ex-husbands are in jail now. I ain't going into the why they're in jail because it's a sensitive subject to my daughters, so I'm not going to go into it. But just know that is where they belong, and I wish, like, my second ex-husband's in there for life. My other one's going to get out in 2024, or no, 2034, I think, or something. It's still a while away, but I'm not looking for the day he gets out. But back to I don't know, because I've gone through a lot of subjects, so I can't say back to the subject at hand. But this is helping a bit. So, and like I said, you guys don't have to watch this video all the way through if you don't want. It's like 21 minutes long, unless Megan cuts any of this out. It is helping me. And I know it's not just because I had posted the Duckland kit on my groups that I'm part of on Facebook. And they were giving me helpful hints or helpful tips. And if any of you guys from my great Facebook groups are watching, this has nothing to do with you guys. Most of your guys' comments were nice. Thanks for the help. But for some reason, that was causing me a lot of emotions. Because I know you guys were trying to help. I know they were trying to help. There was only one that kind of really got to me. It said that it looked like it was just heavy makeup on the baby. Which, that was the only comment that I particularly didn't like. Because I tried my best. It's my second kit I've ever painted. And so I decided I'm going to put Duckland up for now, and I'm going to do some research on how to use this air dry paint. I'm going to probably just totally strip him. Start over. Go ahead and insert the eyes. I know that's not how most artists does it, but I'm not most artists. This is how I'm going to do it. Try not to get paint on the eyes, which is going to be difficult, and just repaint them. But I knew my emotions had nothing to do with the duck. Well, it might have done something to do with the Duckland sculpt, but it's just, I was just getting emotional over a little thing. Like, yeah, I'm going to have to strip the head for sure and repaint it. Big deal. It happens. Made a mistake. I'll learn from it. But it's just all those comments that was helping me was for some reason getting me emotional. And I don't know if it's because I've not had much friends. So, getting help from friends. But I also was talking to Megan during my lunch. Not a single comment had in there besides there was one comment that was more soothing than anything. All the other comments had nothing in there like, you're doing a good job, but here's something that would help. It's great, or it's good. I don't know. There was no positive in these comments. And like I said, if you know who I am on the groups, I'm not meaning to diss anybody. I appreciate you guys' help. But, and I think that could have been, I don't know, like I said, the very last post I seen was more soothing for me. And it kind of helped my emotions a bit. I was still emotional, but I understood that comment better. Because she said that, I don't know, I sent it to Megan. I might have, I don't want to put the lady's name out there. So I might see if she can blur out the name and just keep the comment in. And and I don't know why I was more soothing. But I seen that comment and I'm like, I don't know if that's what I needed. But I also had all these other things going around. Like, could it be my self-esteem? Could it be because I've always been strong and I'm sorry, I'm always going to be strong. But maybe I don't need to be as strong as I used to. Because like I said, as growing up, I had to be strong for my cousins. When I got divorced, I had to be strong for the girls because I was not going to let them see me fall apart. Even at my grandma and grandpa's funeral, I didn't cry there because I felt like I still had to be strong for my cousins, even though they're adults with their own kids now. Of course, I cried on the way there and cried on the way back and cried in my own room. But that could also be me not showing emotion, because if I showed emotion at school, the teasing would have gotten worse. Well, it's considered bullying now, but back when I was in school, it was teasing. And it was just kids being kids. And I kind of like how they're handling it now. But back when I was in school, it did not get handled as well as they should have. And even nowadays, I think sometimes it goes a little bit too far on the punishments. Because there is friends that will tease you. Like, I had a friend in 5th grade that would try to, I'd be eating lunch, and he would try to get me to, like, not eat my food and tease me. Like, I'd have fries with ketchup, and he's like, "Ew, you're eating fingers with blood," or something. He would say something just so outrageous to try to get me to push away the food, just to tease me. It was the good teasing. It wasn't the teasing that would put up my walls, basically. It was good teasing. Which I think I needed that too in school. I needed to learn, and maybe I haven't yet, I needed to learn that all teasing is bad. There is some good teasing out there that friends just do just to tease you. It's just, I don't know. And like I said, this helped, and I appreciate if you guys did watch it all the way through. Thank you. And know that every time you guys watch our videos, that means something to me. We don't do it for the views. We don't do it for, like, we're not to 1,000 subscribers yet, and we've been on YouTube for 2 years, which is fine. Actually, I think it's been 3 years now. Yeah, we just had our 3rd anniversary. So we've been on YouTube for 3 years. Still only got like 414, I think, last time I looked, subscribers. It's fine. To me, subscribers, yes, it'd be nice to be over the 1,000. But small YouTube isn't the bad thing either. But I appreciate every one of you guys. This is this cutie here. And by the time we post this, I'll probably have a new name for her. And I might look into, because I might need to change her up a bit. I don't think I've done anything with her. Like, this is her original body, her original weight of the body. I was going to see if I can find, she's got a lot of hair, so I just don't know if I can see the artist. I know it's back here. Or at least I thought it was. I'll see if I can find her, but I'm pretty sure the artist was at least Bonnie, but I don't know the last name, and I don't know if it's Bonnie Brown, and it was her married name. I thought that's what I heard when I first posted her, but I don't know. I'll see if I can find where I purchased her from and get her artist name. I don't think I know the kit, but I just love her little face. She looks like she's so silly. Makes me smile. Sometimes I wish I could bring these babies with me to work. I think that might help my emotions a bit. But I work at Walmart, and carrying around a doll, I don't think would go for it. I thought about putting like a small one in my vest pocket, but I've got so many things in my vest pocket that I don't think that would work. I've thought about sewing an extra pocket inside the vest pocket, or vest, because it's my vest pretty much until I either quit or until we have to get new ones. I think we've gotten 3 new versions of the vest since I've been there. Like a sewing, like a one, like an inside pocket where I can put a baby in there, a little baby in there. I don't know. I think that would help me, but I don't know. I will try to find her box opening. If I can't, I will do a detailed video of her. I am pretty sure we have her box opening. I just don't know where it is. We've had her for a while, and I don't know why I haven't been messing with her, because I love babies with a little tongue. I just recently got, I don't know if he's on the channel, but I recently got the Sebi Sculpt reproduction from Temu. Yeah, I think it was Temu. It's either Temu and AliExpress, but I'm wanting to say Temu. Cutest little guy. I need to adjust his, or put weight on him because he has no weight. But these two could almost be maybe not twins, but maybe brothers and sisters. I don't know. But this cutie wants to say thank you everybody for watching, and enjoy your night or morning, or whenever you're watching this. Make sure you enjoy life, because you only get one. Thanks, guys.